The only languages I've studied are Japanese, Spanish, and Esperanto, beyond the fundamentals. And even then, even with them, I've only really done the fundamentals. When I say beyond, it's more like beyond just how to say hello, thank you, good night, I love you. Just that, right? that's like all I know in most languages. Esperanto. Ĝi estas tre facila lingvo, Esperanton. Yo... No. I almost spoke Spanish there, because Esperanto is a conlang made by... what is his name? I think they just call him Dr. Esperanto, even. But he wanted a conlang that had cognates across most European languages, but it's most similar to Spanish. It's most similar to Spanish. But it's a really easy language to learn in that, like, all the rules are constant. There's no, since it's a conlang, you know, it wasn't developed naturally, it was invented by one guy. Is it the one they call a universal language? Yes, but it's not really a universal language is the flaw. Yeah, it's not a true universal language. It's mostly just cognates for European languages. So if you speak like French, German, Polish, etc., you'll find words that are familiar to you, and you'll find a grammar structure that is familiar to you. But for example, Esperanto would not be a universal or easy language for someone that speaks Japanese as their first language, or like honestly, most East Asian languages would not be as compatible with it. That's where it becomes flawed, and I think that's one of the reasons it failed to catch on. But if you're ever interested in learning a language, but purely for the purpose of learning a language, Esperanto can be a really fun and easy first one to pick up. It's kind of like, it's not a practical language. Ĝi ne estas praktika lingvo. Ne estas tre ne praktika lingvo. Pero kaj amuse, but it's fun. It's not a practical language because not many people speak it. However, if you do master it, there is actually a pretty rich culture of Esperantists. That's what you call yourself if you speak the language fluently. Where if you travel the world and you meet an Esperantist or you connect with an Esperantist over the internet, there's a really common culture of like sharing housing with another Esperantist, like hosting them when they travel, especially across Europe. So it can be fulfilling in that way, but otherwise it's not a very useful language to learn. If you're interested in learning a language specifically just for the academic process of learning a language, I think that Esperanto is a really effective language for learning how to learn a language. Does that make sense? Like it's very easy in the sense that the words are simple, the structure of like conjugation is consistent, and it's just basic enough that you can focus specifically and exclusively on like learning that structure. And if you develop any learning strategies with Esperanto, you can then carry those over to what I would consider to be an actually practical language to pick up. The nerd emoji, you just don't like me, do you? You hate me so bad. I am despised, I am detested. Yeah, I genuinely recommend it. If you're ever curious about learning a language but are very intimidated by learning a proper developed language. But again, it is not a practical language. You will not find much practical use for it in the world.